Now, many of you will know that from the Chinese stimulus, one of the things that they will be doing is to injecting, of course, funds or money into the stock market, which is something that will help give good boost into stocks like NIO, which is our favorite EV stocks or our favorite Chinese equity. So with this today, we got to read more news that says that China, when it comes to this facility, they are going to launch around or inject around 500 billion RMB or 70 billion dollars into the market, which is something that is so incredible. You will know that during their plans, financial institutions, stockbrokers, they will be given money or will be injected by this cash that they will be able to buy ETFs and stocks like NIO, and to see that 70 billion will be injected as per what we read today, it is something that makes me to be really excited. I think this is part of the reason why we saw at least the Hong Kong Stock Exchange ending the day, or NIO ending the day at 4%, and Singapore Stock Exchange ending also almost at 4%, which is something that is pretty exciting, something that of course shows that though we did not get the excitement, although some of the investors did not get the kind of excitement when it comes to the meeting which was held on Tuesday, there are more good news that are unfolding from this. I think on Saturday, if not tomorrow, the Chinese minister or finance minister will be talking, and he will also touch base on this Chinese big stimulus, and hopefully on Monday, I think it's on Saturday, hopefully on Monday when the market open, we get some good and positive sentiments from investors, and these Chinese equities once again, they can continue to rally. So this is what we are expecting. This is what we just read, to say that the swap facility to be injected into the stock market equates to around 70 billion dollars or 500 billion RMB, which is quite incredible, so amazing. So this article further indicated or highlighted that these financial institutions or these institutions that could qualify for this, they need to send applications now. Applications have opened. They need to send through their applications for them to be able to get these funds from the government, which will enable them to buy more stocks, to buy ETFs, which is good news to stocks like NIO, stocks like Baba, and the other Chinese equities. I mean, when I read this today, I was pretty excited. I was so excited to say that we are going to finally see the stimulus of China, which they said or they promised, starting to play out. Yes, right now we are still going to, or these institutions are still going to apply for these funds to come to the institutions to help in companies perform store buybacks and buying these ETFs and stocks like NIO, which is just so incredible. I know as I'm doing this video on NIO in the US stock exchange right now is down almost 2%, but I don't think it's a train smash. I mean, the one thing that we've been seeing on NIO is that on a daily basis we have been seeing, or in the last like 3-4 days, we've been seeing NIO stock price starting down on a red but end the day on a green, which shows you the volatility that is found onto this stock. If you are not investing for the long term, you might end up jumping the train before we get rewarded because of the volatility we see onto this stock, right? I mean, same like yesterday, NIO stock price started the day down 2.5% but ended the day around 1%, which shows you once again that this is a stock that is quite volatile, and if you're just investing based on what you are seeing on the stock price at that particular time, you are definitely going to miss out, because instead of you taking the low trading price as opportunities to load the boat, you might panic and sell everything that you have onto NIO, which is something that at a later stage you are definitely going to regret. So yeah, man, it is always important that before you sell any stock, including this our very favorite own NIO, you do some due diligence, you check what is it that is happening, so that at least you can make a precise decision, a confident decision with the money you are investing or you are about to invest onto a particular stock. But as for me, NIO, it remains that company which is set for greatness. I mean, these are some of the news that over and above the fundamentals that NIO currently has, over the growth that we are seeing onto NIO of delivering more than what so many people anticipate. This just puts or adds the cherry on top, because we are going to see the short sellers going to burn because of this transaction. At the end of these 70 billion injections into the stock market, we are definitely going to see those short sellers losing billions and billions because of the fact that Chinese stockbrokers, big financial institutions would have gotten the money to buy stocks, to buy ETFs, and also help companies with share buybacks, which is something that is incredible, something that is amazing, and we look forward to that. You will know that this big stimulus that China announced is to boost the Chinese economy now in Q4, which is just so amazing. I mean, the GDP for China in Q1 was at 5%. For Q2 it was 4.7%. Q3 we might get to see another plus 5%, and Q4, which shows you of how strong the Chinese economy it is. I mean, some of the news reporters are reporting bad stuff about the Chinese economy. I mean, as compared to other economies, inflation in China is extremely low. GDP in China has been growing quite steadily. But when you look into the GDP growth of some of the countries, you will realize that China is not doing as bad. So this big stimulus that is coming, hopefully we get to see it playing a huge role, and China implement as what they said. Over $1 trillion of stimulus is what is expected or anticipated onto this massive stimulus that China announced a couple of weeks ago. And for the stock buybacks and the money that will be injected into the stock market, it's around $70 billion or 500 billion RMB, with, or as per what we read today, which is massive, which is bullish, and I cannot wait to see how this one unfolds. So applications or institutions are sending applications, which hopefully very soon we can start seeing some of the funds being transferred, or some of the money being transferred, and institutions start buying back some of the stocks like NEO, which are the stocks that we like very much. Now, one thing before, of course, we end this video, that we read on this very same article is that this facility, or these injections of $70 billion could be increased in the future, which is something that shows that it can be better than this, or chances are we might see things even getting better in the future in terms of injecting money into the stock market, which will be so amazing, so incredible to see, and we look forward to that. So do your own due diligence. I'm long and strong onto companies like NEO, because over and above the growth that we are seeing onto the company, over and above the news, the latest fundamentals that we are seeing onto the stock, China is willing to give support and give a boost into, of course, Chinese equities like NEO, which is bullish, massive to us as the investors. Otherwise, that's all from me. Do your own due diligence, and God bless you all.